Hey, this is Paul. How you doing? I just thought I'd go over a couple concepts that we talked about on Tuesday. The first one involves our basic left-hand fingering. You can either finger the instrument guitar style with 4 fingers or acoustic bass style with 3. I typically use acoustic bass style for most things. It's easier on your hands and it probably sounds better. So remember that we talked about just, spending a little bit of time every day Actually, up here I usually switch to 3 fingers. But anyhow, down here, if you're just doing basic, I definitely use 3 fingers for that. So remember that. And then we had talked about with our right hand, kind of the master rhythm in a lot of Iron Maiden songs, and actually a good thing to do in general, is when you're using your right hand fingers, if you're plucking with 2 to go, right to go, if you're playing that particular rhythm, if you're going like half those songs do. I'm not even sure Steve Harris does this, but go, index, middle, index. And start the pattern again with the see, I'm stopped there on my index finger, and I'm stopped on my middle index. And practice that. Practice that on all strings. And then you can even, for really fast stuff, if you want to start thinking about using 3 fingers, my instinct for like the really fast tunes would be like a, but if you want to start using 3 fingers, go like that. Like that. So anyhow, practice going. And then the intro of the Trooper, I'll play it really slow because that might be a fun one to, it's a good kind of almost up and down scalar exercise. It starts on the 9th fret. Although I'm going to contradict myself, music's an art, not a science. You do what works, and what works best for me for this is to use my 3rd finger here. That's the first part of it. It goes like that. That's actually a scalar pattern. Like that. And then I tend to do a lot of kind of motions up and down the neck like that. So and then I'm going to look and see, bass lines are made up of little bits of scales that are called intervals. And the first interval we can talk about is an octave, which is, if I were to play it in open position, that's low E. That's the 2nd fret on the D string. So, if I were to play octaves up and down the neck, that's actually kind of the characteristic disco rhythm. When people want to make fun of disco, that's usually what they do. And this is definitely easier if you do with your first finger and your fourth finger. So, you know. No, I'm just kidding. But locate the octaves and practice playing them. You would want to talk about the intro to Higher Grounds, the song Higher Ground. So. Yeah, start things real slow at the beginning. So, and then we'll talk about the mechanics of that later. You're just slapping with your bottom finger and popping with your top. So, octaves, this, and practice going, you know, 1 and a 2 and kind of kicking off with the finger you land on instead of always going, you know, instead of using the same finger. So, let me know if you got any questions.